Hi, and welcome to my channel. For those of you new, my name is Dave and I work in financial services, and these videos are a mixture of my journey and development towards financial freedom. They'll be about financial products, and it will also be videos about increasing your financial awareness and education, so hopefully you can reach your investment goals and aims. Now remember, if you like the videos, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel so you can reach a wider audience. Now let's get into this latest video. Now, the first thing you should do before you do invest any money is create some kind of emergency fund. Now, it may well be £500, it may be £1,000, it may be 1 month's salary, it may be 3 months' salary. Whatever level you need, you may find comfortable for your own personal circumstances. If you are going to invest money, the last thing you need to do is liquidate some assets at short notice. It may well be for a loss, but it may well not be able to be liquidated in the time frame you need it. So keep some emergency money, such as a car breakdown, a home repair, a boiler breakdown. Okay, and first of all, invest money you cannot afford to lose. Once you've created an emergency fund, the next step you should do, shall we say, is pay off any high level debt. It doesn't make any sense at all if you're going to invest but your returns are less than the debt or interest rates you are paying. A quick example, you may well have credit card debts, ideally between 15 and 20% in the UK. It may well be you have personal loans between 5 and 10%. Now, there's good debt, shall we say, what we call a mortgage. Most mortgage rates you could fix for less than 2%, which is manageable. It's what we perceived as good debt. And if we look at the average returns of the S&P 500, it's between 8 and 9% each year. And again, the FTSE 100, since it was incepted in the early 80s, again, round about 8%. So if your investments can pay service your debt, great, but it does not make sense from a personal level to be paying more in interest fees and charges than what you will make on your investment returns. Now, whether you are new to investing, most people are investing by some kind of default, mainly through a workplace pension. So the first thing you may well do is join your employer's pension scheme. Since auto-enrollment was introduced in 2012, it's now been compulsory for employers, obviously certain size, scale down to now small employers, to offer a workplace pension. And most schemes now through auto-enrollment, they will pay 5% and be matched to 3% by your own personal contributions, so collectively 8%. Now, it may well be very tax efficient to do so. You will pay less tax, you will pay less NI, your employer will be actually giving you free money, and it may be subject to some kind of reduced fees and reduced charges because of economies of scales. You may work for a big employer, may well be 500 or 1,000 employees, and because of the number of contributions and the number of employers, your pension provider may well give you competitive or reduced rates. And it will be obviously you'll be joining some kind of investment pool. Your monthly contributions will be added into your workplace or your work colleagues' contributions, and collectively you will be buying into an investment pool, so larger funds, economies of scale. But get yourself automated every payday. It will create a habit, and ultimately you will not miss the money. It may well be a struggle for first, but once you get in the process where your money will automatically come out your net pay every month on payday, you will soon become into the habit, and you can, if you wish, increase your contributions. And again, your company will give you more money, or it may well be the government tops it up with tax relief. So unknowingly, you may already be investing, but you may not be making decisions, because a lot of people would join a workplace scheme and it'll be invested to some kind of default scheme based upon your age or your attitude to risk, or the type of schemes and funds available by your pension providers. But ultimately, most people, They will just look at their statement once a year. They may see the headline figures, it will go up, it will go down, but they won't know what type of funds it's invested in, how it's returned, what sort of risk or reward is involved, or what sort of fees and charges. They may well just see the headline figure, your pension is now worth X or Y on an annual basis. But that may well be your starting point. If you are new to investing, the first things you may wish to do is to find where you fit on the risk-reward scenario. If we look at the following chart, okay, very simple graphic. The more risk we take, ideally the greater the reward. So if we look at the chart, the bottom left is what we commonly call is cash, so very low risk for a very little reward. If we look at the far right, the greater the risk, the greater the reward. Now this may be examples such as penny shares, cryptocurrency, small shareholdings on AIM, it may well be individual companies. Now, most people will ideally aim for the middle of the road, shall we say. They may well be in funds, they may well be in investment trusts, they may well be in trackers, they may well be in blue chip companies. But where do you fit on the following chart? It may well be based upon your age. It may well be on your investment goals. It may well be on the amounts you could save. Okay, are you investing for the next 5 years, 10 years? Are you investing for a specific purpose to meet a set objective or goal? Now, it will all be individual down to yourselves, but find out where you fit on the risk and reward and make it personal to you. Okay, me personally, okay, I will predominantly be towards the right of the screen, individual funds, but predominantly as I'm getting near towards retirement, my funds or investments will become less from individual shares. They will more go into companies, into tracker funds, one to give me greater diversification across numerous sectors or numerous locations, but it will also de-risk my portfolio. So it will go up and down in value, it will meet my investment journeys, but it will not be solely invested in one or two companies, like a roller coaster, shall we say. So it will peak and trough, but find out where you fit on the respective reward chart. And when you do get round to starting your investments, most people, the easiest thing to do as a complete novice or a relative beginner is to start off buying some kind of tracker fund or index fund. Readily available on virtually any platform provider. Now, it may well be you track the FTSE 100. It may well be the S&P 500. It may well be you buy a passive global fund which will cover the whole worldwide market. But they are cheap. They are easy to buy. The fees are relatively cheap, 0.5% ideally, but it will give you greater diversification across each sectors or across geographical regions. So it may well be a certain percentage in the UK, a certain percentage in the US, a certain percentage in Asia, a certain percentage may well be in emerging markets. So it will give your portfolio greater risk, or less risk, shall we say, but greater diversification across numerous sectors, numerous regions. And as your knowledge increases, then you can buy individual stocks, individual shares. So it may well be you then venture into companies you know. Now, they're all good companies, the bad companies, it may well be you buy a share in, say, Lloyd's, a well-known bank, or Aviva, a well-known insurance company, or BP or Royal Dutch Shell, or a retailer such as Next, shall we say, JD Sports. Companies that you know are doing well, are performing well, which will hopefully give you greater rewards moving forwards, greater investment returns, but your risk will then be solely concentrated on that one performance. And then as your knowledge grows, Spread your risk. Create a more concentrated portfolio. Watch videos. Read the press. Read investment magazines. Have a look at YouTube channels. Have a look at investment blogs. And then as your knowledge is, have a look at what your platform provider will offer you. They will have videos, they will have webinars, they will have FAQ sections, they will have investment guides to help you. It is not as complicated as people think. Unfortunately, shall we say, the industry makes it sound complicated. But start off with the basics: tracker funds, investment trusts, global funds, and spread your risk, spread your diversification, and as your knowledge increases, increase your investment knowledge. With regard to your investments, make sure you put your investments in what we call a tax-free wrapper. Now in the UK, everybody can have an ISA, be a cash ISA or a mix of stocks and shares ISA, up to £20,000 each tax year. Or it may well be you invest in a pension in a tax-free wrapper, or it may well be a self-invested personal pension. Now, it may not be a problem now, but it may well be as your portfolio grows. It will not be liable for dividend tax. So just to summarise, everyone in the UK can make £2,000 a year before they are liable for dividend tax. Your investment returns will not be subject to capital gains tax. Again, capital gains tax will apply when you sell an asset. From the difference between what you sell it for and what you bought it for will be subject to capital gains tax. At the moment, the annual limit is £12,300. So it may not be a problem now, but it may create problems later on if your portfolio grows to a substantial level. Now they're cheap to run, they're simple to run, but each provider will offer you, whether it's through the stocks and shares as ISA, okay, or some kind of platform. Make sure your investments grow in a simplified product, but make sure they are tax efficient. So it may not be beneficial now, but it will be beneficial in the long run if and when your portfolio grows over a long-term time horizon. Just to recap, the points we've summarised today may not be an exhaustive list, but it hopefully gives people the basics who are new or may be concerned about investments and how to get started. So first of all, okay, create yourself an emergency fund. Do not invest with money you can afford to lose. Pay off any high level debt. It does not make any sense if your interest charges, your fees or your payments are greater than the level of income you're going to put into your investments. You're never going to catch up. Do you join a workplace pension scheme as a starting point? Dip your toe in the water. Where do you fit on the risk and reward chart? And get started with the basics. Tracker funds, shall we say, ETFs, okay? And then as your knowledge increases, then diversify to individual stocks, individual companies, other investment products, but more importantly, make sure investments grow in a tax-free wrapper. They're available, use them, but look at what your providers offer you. Your providers will offer you tons of videos, as we've said, to help you through the process. It does not have to be daunting, it does not have to be complex, but make sure personal finance is personal to you. And where does it fit in with your goals? It could be your 5 years, 10 years, it may be 20 years, it may well be a long-term retirement plan. Okay, and remember, if you like the videos, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you again soon.